I personally sold over $3 million on Instagram DMs in 7 months, and I'm gonna show you the entire blueprint on how you can do it. We're talking no funnels, no VSLs, no ads, no sales calls. This is the simplest way to build an online business today. Here's how it works. The first step is the content. Our goal on social media is to become the best version of ourselves, to give ourselves to our audience, to share ourselves with the world, unfiltered, exactly who we are, no constraints. And to do that, you need to understand the character diamond. And I learned this a long time ago from my buddy Ryan Dice. And essentially, it's a process or different components so that you can communicate the depth of a character. And I use this exact strategy to build my personal brand so that people get to know me, because what we want to do is we want to break the trust barrier. So there's 4 components. The first one is understanding what is your North Star? What are you uniquely known for? Think about people like Elon Musk. He wants to colonize Mars. Gary Vee wants to buy the jets. Everybody that you follow online, you know what their North Star is, but for a lot of content creators, they don't ever tell anybody what that is. The other side of the character diamond is their kryptonite, right? It's the flaw. See, some people are such perfectionists and experts. They don't want anybody to know that they have any dark side or the shadow side. I mean, personally, my thing, and I'm a big fitness person, I do Ironmans, I work out, is I love chocolate and peanut butter. It is one of my favorite things. I'm also a big fan of comedy. Kill Tony is one of my favorite shows on the internet. It's what I watch to go to bed every night. And I mean, think about Elon. Elon's favorite thing to do is memes. He's got some kryptonite, right? And then quirky. What is something about you that you would share that would make the person feel, well, that's kind of quirky? My personal one is that I kind of have a secret addiction to Real Housewives. And I mean, if you want to get into a debate of which one's my favorite, I'd have to probably put New Jersey in the hat, followed by close Beverly Hills. But that's my quirk. What is your quirk? I had a friend, his thing is he cooks himself fresh made pasta every night. It's just a little something that makes somebody uniquely them. And then finally, what are your passions? What do you love to do? For me, I love snowboarding. I love mountain biking. I share these things with the world. Yes, I share stuff around content and business and growth and strategies and all those things, but I've given myself permission to share all aspects of me. So if you're struggling on being you, give yourself permission to be yourself and unlike anybody else. Using the character diamond, you'll be able to demonstrate who you truly are at your core and have your audience trust you. So a lot of people have these belief blockers about content. I want to break them apart. These are the 3 biggest fears and how to reframe them for you to take action. The first one is your life isn't that interesting. Here's the deal, is you've gone through some challenges, some setbacks, and your best content will be you sharing those transformations, those moments where you overcame. The second belief blocker is that I don't have anything of value to share. I'm just getting started. I don't feel like I'm that smart. I believe that every person has done something impressive with their lives, and whatever you know is going to help everybody that's just behind you. You want to share that. You want to literally give it all away. If you're a consultant, share all your secrets. I think information should be given away for free, and then people will pay for implementation. The third blocker is what are other people gonna think? Your high school friends, your coworkers, whatever it is. Here's what I know. If your ambitions to help people and create content is bigger than your fears, then your life will be way bigger than your dreams. Do not hold back from sharing your true unique giftedness with the world, because that's how we create connection. The second step is what I call the opens. I remember I was talking to a client of mine and they were like,
I don't have enough leads and I need to do more marketing.
And I opened up their profile and I was like, you literally have 6,000 followers. I go, have you messaged every one of them?
No, why would I do that?
Every one of your followers are essentially an opt-in for somebody that's shown interest to want to learn from you, and you haven't even started a conversation with them. So here's how you turn those followers into leads. This is the opener framework, and it is awesome. So there's 2 big strategies. First, we start with inbound. The inbound is a hand raiser. On your social media account, ask people if they want something of value that you've created. It could be a template, a blueprint, a script, any kind of playbook, and saying, if you want this, then just message me and I'll send it to you. That's the inbound, because they're messaging you. Interact with those people and see if you can be helpful. The second is outbound, which is all about messaging every new follower. First off, you say hello to them, thanking them for the engagement. Hey, Jane, thanks for the follow, or thanks for the engagement. And then asking them, are you here for the content? Are you looking to and get the results? So whatever it is. For me, it's, are you here for the vids? Are you looking to grow your business? Are you here for the content? Are you looking for for a new logo. Whatever it is, it's a this or that, but always end with the thing you want them to do. I keep seeing people mix those up. You don't go, are you here to grow your business or are you just here for the videos? Whatever is the thing that you can help people, make that the second call to action. And when they say both or the second or just the first one, you can then engage with them. The third step is to qualify. See, when you go to a doctor and you sit down with them, they don't just say like, what do you want? And then they give you a prescription and then you walk out. And the reason why is any prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. So for you to try to sell something to somebody and you don't even know if it's really the right thing for them or if you can actually help them, it's not only wrong, it'll waste your time. So I want to teach you a framework that's going to help you get through it so that you can move to the next step only if the person is ready for you. So there's 4 steps to qualifying somebody. The first step is asking them about their desire. So you might say, where do you want to be by the end of the year? Or what is your dream weight? Or what is an ideal outcome for your new brand? And they start telling you about it. Then you want to go to their current state, their reality, and ask them like, well, what does it look like today? See, if you ask their desire first, then you have the permission to ask about their today. If you say, where is your goal for your revenues? And you can say, well, what do revenues look like today? Or what do your profits look like today? You really want to get descriptive. So tell me about your situation. How many people do you work with? What have you tried so far? That kind of stuff. Then we want to talk about impact. So asking them questions like, how does this impact your life today? How does it impact your time? How does it impact your emotions? How does it impact other people in your family? How does it impact people at your work? But really understanding the pain around their current state, their reality, helps the prospect understand their current situation. Then once you do that, you then earn the permission to ask them this beautiful question: do you want my help? And that is where we give the permission back to the person to lean in or lean out. They either say, yes, I'd love to learn more, or they'll say, I don't really know what you do, or I don't even know who you are, which gives you an opportunity to try to overcome that objection. But you want to get it out of the way up front, so you qualify them, have them lean in, and then you get to move to the next step. That's when we use the buying zone. Some people are either too far on the left, where they have no hope that they can solve the problem, no confidence in themselves, or they think that what you're selling is maybe too advanced for them. And then you have people on the other side of the spectrum that have too much hope, that feel that, hey, I can figure this out myself, or too much confidence, like I've done this, I can do this myself, or maybe think it's too simple or too Fisher Price for them. And what you want to do is you want to use reframes, I'm going to teach you in a second, to get them into the buying zone. And the buying zone is this perfect place where they have enough trust, they have enough hope, they feel like it's a perfect fit for them. So what do you do when you're on either side of that spectrum? These are the 3 reframes that I use to get the prospect in the buying zone. First off, a comparison reframe. So some people will be like, I don't know if I could ever be a millionaire. And you might ask them, you say, do you know what percentage of the entrepreneurs are millionaires, or how many millionaires are in the US? And they go, no. I go, there's actually 22 million millionaires in the US. Do you think it's possible that maybe you could be one of them? I go, wow, I didn't know there were so many. That's a comparison reframe, or a calculation reframe. So some people, they might have a lot of confidence in what they're doing, and I might ask them a question like, well, what are your profits at? And they'll go like,
Oh, we haven't made any profit.
so that's somebody that had too much hope, and you want to bring them back a little bit to get them into the buying zone. Or you might ask them to like talk about revenue numbers. So it's like, what's your goal? How many units would you have to sell to hit your goal? When people start running the numbers in their head, they go from not enough confidence to confidence, because we say, hey, that's only like 5 more units per month. So that's a calculation reframe. And then another one that I love using is a correlation reframe. And that's like, for example, with business coaching or people that hire agencies or other experts to help them. You might say like, wouldn't it be weird if you met an athlete at the Olympics that said they didn't have a coach? They go, yeah, that'd be pretty weird. Well, do you want to be somebody that performs at the highest level or at the lowest level? And that helps somebody going from too much confidence to just perfect to allow them to make the decision to purchase. The 4th step is make the offer. Most people get stalled at this level because they don't feel like what they can do to help somebody is valuable enough, or it's need to be packaged and all this whiz bang marketing site and copy, and it's got to have a video and all these things. I will tell you, every one of my software companies, all my coaching companies, everything I've ever sold, I sold it before I ever designed it or built it. Over time, you can develop it. Over time, you can add all the bells and whistles, but you just want to go out there and have people lean in, make an offer, validate that what you have is valuable to them by them transacting, and then from there, keep going. When I launched this new coaching program, I didn't even have the call scheduled. I didn't have a payment link on Stripe. All I had was an outline of something that I was thinking of doing. I copied and pasted, I sent it. People said I'm in. Then I had to go call my team, create a link, send it to them, and then we got it going. These are the two things that are needed to create a great offer. First off is you have to map to pain. Whatever the conversation you've had with them and all the pain points that they're saying is a struggle, from my team doesn't listen to I don't have clear vision, or I feel unmotivated, or I don't feel consistent, whatever the pain is, your offer needs to map to the pain and overcome those concerns, overcomes those objections, so that they feel like this is a killer offer. So once you have an offer outline, I'll give you a template below that you can just copy and paste and play with. Keep it simple. I want to make this simple because I think complexity fails, simple scales. That's number one. Number two is you either win, the person decides to buy from you, or you follow up, because fortunes are made in the follow-up. Probably 50% of the revenue that I have is because I kept them on a list on my phone and I kept following up. I kept showing up. I kept adding value. I kept doing hand raisers. I kept sharing wins. I kept doing the things that proved to the people following me that I was able to deliver on the thing that we had chatted about, and eventually say, I'm ready, let's do this. These are the three things that actually hold people back from selling. The first one is they're too transactional. There's no empathy. It's almost like back and forth without conversation. The key there is to echo the feelings. Whatever the person says to you, you want to acknowledge that, send it back. So what I hear is this: did I get it right? Yes, perfect, and move on. The second one is you don't have the proper expert frame, and what you get is you get put in the friend zone. So when you're chatting with somebody, you might ask them what their goals are, and they go,
What are your goals?
that is the friend zone. You don't want to be put there. Instead, you want to lead the conversation. You want to take control of it. It is actually perfectly okay to not even acknowledge a question and just keep moving the conversation to the next level of qualifying, so you can get the person to a place where you can maybe be of help. The third is just being lazy. I see people all the time, they're like in momentum and they're chatting and they're making revenue, and then they get busy with the business and then they get non-responsive and they drop the ball and they don't follow up. And that is probably the biggest killer of revenue. And that's why in the next step, I'm going to teach you the process you got to follow to make this easy. The fifth step is process. See, the secret that no one else talks about is that sequencing equals success. So when we're doing chat, when we're having sales conversations, you just can't just go all over the place and talk to the hottest qualified lead and try to move that forward and skip all around. You need a process. And for me, I do the reverse of what most people do. See, most people do their opens, then they qualify, and then they make offers. My nuance here is to go from offers. So what I do is I start with everybody I've made an offer for in the past, maybe yesterday, the day before, and I process from the bottom, the oldest, all the way up to the top. Then I go to qualified. So these are people that have already qualified, and I start at the bottom and I go the way up top. And then I go and I do my opens and I do my leads. That way I'm always moving the most qualified pipeline forward to increase revenue. If I only have 45 minutes on chat, that's what I'm doing. Now, Instagram actually makes this really easy. If you go into your business account, they have these things called tags or labels. And the way I do it is that if I find somebody leaning in, I tag them as a lead. Then if I qualify them, I tag them as booked. Then if I make the offer, I tag them as ordered. And if eventually buy, I change it to paid. That's why they're green. And I put them in my primary inbox in my Instagram, because now they're a client. So if they chat with me, I know to prioritize those messages. That's how I made 3 million on Instagram DMs. If you want to learn the only 4 skills you need to build a $1 billion company, click the link and I'll see you on the other side.